The men's singles quarterfinal at the 2024 Paris Olympics fell on August 1st, a date loaded with symbolism. Japan's Tomokazu Harimoto stormed out with a ruthless attack, racing to a perfect 2-0 lead. And with ice-cold composure, he said, On the court, Zhendong, a former player from the Bai team with a military background, heard something sharper than the scoreboard. For the first time in 20 years since the 2004 Athens Olympics, China's men's table tennis team was on the brink of missing an all-Chinese final. Back in Athens, Wang Hao was branded a national disgrace after losing to Ryu Sung-min. Some extreme fans even demanded he injure himself and retire. Ma Lin, who exited in the round of 16, carried negative labels for years. Now in Paris, history seemed ready to repeat itself. Top seed Wang Chuqin was knocked out in the round of 32. As the number 2 seed, Zhendong stood as the only Chinese player left in the quarterfinals. Just months earlier, he had been trapped in a storm of online harassment and toxic fan culture, draining him mentally and emotionally. It was hard to imagine what a loss in this match would mean. At that moment, the 0-2 deficit felt like standing at the edge of a cliff. One step forward meant complete collapse. One step back could mark a fracture in the legacy of an entire era. But on the edge of desperation, there was no fear in Zhendong's eyes, only a growing sense of resolve. Behind him stood more than just himself. There were countless expectations, countless voices of trust. Since the heartbreak of Athens in 2004, every Chinese national team player had carried the responsibility of protecting the country's table tennis legacy. And Fan, as the last man holding the line, clearly understood the weight on his shoulders. He took a deep breath and thought back to the years no one saw. Countless days and nights inside the Bai training hall, where sweat and tears blended together. Back then, he was young, straightforward, but unwavering in his belief. No matter how many thorns or storms lay ahead, he had to stand tall and carry the honor of Chinese table tennis forward.
军人这个身份给我带来的一个是战斗力了，还有一个就是力量。作为一名军人，教会了我觉得在任何时候都不会去轻言放弃，也不会说去缴械投降，肯定是会战斗到最后一刻。
Game 3, Zhendong launched his counterattack. He opened with a decisive, aggressive strike and quickly surged to a commanding 6-0 lead.
这就有点像开始拼刺刀了一样。他就故意往那儿发的。
His movements grew more decisive. Every swing carried a near-ferocious force, as if he were releasing all the pressure and frustration in one burst. The moment Tomokazu Harimoto showed the slightest lapse, fans seized it without hesitation, flipping the momentum in an instant. The formula for victory was being rewritten.
哇，拼回来了，11-4。
可以的，打成这个局面，咱是能接受的。好球，好球！
落点给的很大。
哇，好球！
好球！
扛住！
哇，好球！
Zhendong roared back, taking 2 straight games and leveling the match at 2-2. But the real test arrived immediately after. In Game 5, Tomokazu Harimoto strung together multiple edge shots and net grazers. Lucky points that even he acknowledged by raising his hand several times. That kind of unpredictable scoring can crush any athlete's mindset. Fan held his ground. Even after dropping that game, he dragged the match into a winner-take-all decider through sheer resilience. Now, every ounce of suspense was locked into Game 7, where every point, every second carried the weight of everything.
扛住，回反手，转正手进攻，
漂亮，漂亮，
好球！跟球撇了一个大斜线。长球，啊，这好的！
太棒了！
The score was locked at 7-7. The arena fell into silence. Every ounce of historical pressure and personal struggle condensed into this single moment.
漂亮！
又是一个劈长，控制短球，防一把，有了！反正
This match was destined to become a classic in history. It was more than a battle of skill. It was a collision of spirit and willpower. In his own way, Fan Zhendong showed the world that no matter how difficult the road becomes, as long as there is light in your heart, transformation is always possible. For him, this was not just a comeback from 0-2 to victory. It was a powerful statement about himself and a profound reflection of the legacy of Chinese table tennis.